In countries like North Korea, Nigeria, Somalia, Yemen, and more, believers face threats, violence, and death for their faith in Jesus Christ. In other places, Christians face open harassment when they try to meet for worship or keep their jobs. God commands us to remember and pray for those who are persecuted as though we were physically with them. Jesus promised that persecution will arise for those who follow him, but he also promised he will never leave us or forsake us.
Prayer looks different when it's all you have left. Hi, I'm Brian with Global Christian Relief. I'm here in Petra in Jordan, and behind me is the treasury. It's been carved directly out of rock, and it's endured centuries. This week, I've been meeting with believers whose stories feel just as enduring. Christians from Iraq who've been driven from ISIS, lost their homes, and who are now living in Jordan as refugees. I've been meeting with these believers to ask them one simple question. When you've lost everything, how do you pray? For them, prayer is not a last resort. It's the first and most powerful response. That lesson in radical faith wasn't over. Just after leaving Jordan, I landed in Damascus, Syria. Just weeks earlier, on a Sunday, a suicide bomber walked into Mar Elias Church during the service and detonated his vest. 25 people were killed. More than 60 were injured. Their grief was still so raw. And yet, in the middle of that devastation, their prayers were not ones of vengeance. They were for the strength to keep choosing Jesus, even though it could cost them everything.
نحن كنيسة حية. نحن باقيين. ونحن مثل ما نحن بنضلنا مثل ما نحن. ما رح يزعزعونا ولا رح يخوفونا ولا رح يهجرونا. بدنا نبقى ومتمسكين أكثر من قبل. لأنه هذا إيماننا.
لنا اغفر لهم يا أبتي لأنهم لا يدرون ماذا يفعلون. فإنه ممكن ما أتعاطى معه أبداً وممكن أغفر.
This is a beautiful example for us of pure faith, a faith that stands firm not because it has easy answers, but because it holds on to Jesus when there are no answers at all. I've seen it now all over the world. I've sat with believers in India like Simran, a widow who lost her husband but vows to continue his ministry. I've seen unimaginable joy in Nigeria with Suzanne, who's forgiven her father's killers. I've prayed with secret believers in the Middle East whose faith grows stronger under pressure. And they're asking us to stand with them in prayer. They want to know they're not forgotten by their global church family. Today, on the International Day of Prayer for the Persecuted Church, I want to invite you to step into their stories.
غني بالنسبة لنا لما نعرف إنه أخ إلنا في المسيح بآخر أقصى العالم عم يذكرنا أو عم يتذكرنا. هذا شيء بيعزينا أكيد وبيقوينا.
So join us on this International Day of Prayer for the Persecuted Church. Let's lift up our persecuted family through prayer. Let's do it together. Let's let them know they're not alone and pray that God would give them the comfort and the courage they need at this very moment.